We are live on YouTube. How's it going, everybody? My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. This is the final Sunday video update of the month of March 2025. My name is Jared Fuller. Joining me off camera this week is my dad. Amy is out in the kitchen. Today's date is Amy says hello. Today's date is Sunday, March 23rd, 2025. Hope you're doing well. We do have some comments, and I'll get started on those right away, right off the bat. Not wasting any time from chewing off my toenail because, chewing off my toenail is a regular here on the Sunday video update. He doesn't always leave a comment, or she or whoever it is. They don't always leave comments in the chat, but they have greeted me with their humor this week. So I'm going to read off the comments. So, and I quote, "Sometimes I'll stick my foot out the window of my car as I'm driving down the road so my toenails can enjoy the summer breeze." There's one. "Whenever I prepare scrambled eggs, I always drop a few healthy toenails into the mix for a beautiful crunch sensation." That's gross, but funny. Then he says, "Toenails are always delicious when thrown in with mixed vegetables." I don't know about that.
Open a can of cashew and put your toenails in there. Got extra crunch.
Oh, the toenails on cashews? Ew. Oh, yuck. Yeah. Hey, toenail, have you? I don't know if you're still in chat, but have you tried adding your toenails to a can of cashews? And last but not least, we shouldn't encourage this guy, but last but not least, he says, "I love waffles when toenails are sticking out of them." Okay, well, thank you so much, chewing off my toenail. Another Sunday of just humor. I love it. So this week, I'm going to talk about some things. Everything here is going well. We we started building on our well house, and then we got sidetracked doing other things. And that, well, because it's been cold, we had, I think, one day where it was 70. Well, yeah, but we had one day where it was 70, and then the rest of the week it was just cold and blustery and snowy, which we do have snow expected to move in tonight, lingering into tomorrow. But I'm not sure if it's for our area or if it's for northwestern lower Michigan, because I heard that the northwestern part of the state is expected to get accumulating snows. But is it for us, though? I think it's for northwestern lower Michigan, like up by Traverse City, Cadillac, Ludington, Beulah, and what else is up there? Leland. Yeah, all the communities in northwestern lower Michigan, they are expected to get impacted with snow tonight. I think they said something about maybe a trace or something, or maybe even just a light dusting of snow for us. I guess we'll find out when it arrives. But so there was something I wanted to talk about this week, and last week I had announced that I had returned to advocacy, which I have. But we had recently laid to rest. Well, not we, but I guess collectively the child of cancer world had laid to rest a young lady named Aubrey, who passed away at the age of 10. I found out she was only 10 years old. And she had rhabdomyosarcoma. And it's a long word to describe a cancer, but it's nonetheless deadly and really does a number. So I wanted to take a few moments just to talk about Aubrey for a minute. Nothing bad or negative, of course. Aubrey, just like all the other kids, they fight and they fight and they fight until there's no more fight left. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are or ever were weak, because that's not what I'm suggesting. However, it's okay to let go. You know, I told this very thing to my mom. I said this very thing to my mother before she passed. I said, "Mom," I said, "if you can't hold on anymore, it's okay to let go. Just go at peace. Go find your peace. You'll be fine. And I'll be okay." You know? And that may be and I understand it's a different scenario because it's my mother who passed away, and children should not die before their parents. The natural order should be parents before children. Um, but I also look at it as now Aubrey is free from her aches and her pains and her struggles and her worries. And although her parents and I don't speak, because for whatever reason they wanted to believe something about me that was just horrible, or whatever the case may be, I don't know. But in spite of all that, um, my love and condolences are still with her parents, in spite of what anyone thinks of me. Whether it be because her parents are Lindsay and Robert Hudson. I don't know if they ever watch my Sunday videos. Quite frankly, I don't care. But just to state for the record, because I know there's always someone watching my live streams and they're, reporting back to headquarters, as it were, make it known that although Lindsay and Robert may have some awful thought about me somewhere hidden away that I don't know about, they can think whatever they want about me, but my love and condolences will continue for them. I don't have to hide behind social media. I don't have to make a fake account to try to ruin someone's reputation, because a person's reputation is just a shadow of who and what they truly are, and their character is what matters more than reputation. So you can stomp on my reputation. That's just my shadow. That's just, you know, it's just an extra. But my character is what counts. Hopefully one day Robert and Lindsay, through their healing and trying to move forward without Aubrey, hopefully they will maybe find it in their hearts to reach out to me one day and say, "Hey, Jared, we heard these things about you, but we do apologize, because we shouldn't just listen to what we're told. We should actually consider the source. But we were going through so much with Aubrey, and we were just not, we had too much on our plate as it was. We didn't want to deal with drama." That would be acceptable to me if they would say that. Um,
I know what they're going through.
they're losing. Well, you don't know what they're going through because they lost a child and you didn't lose a child. But I can understand. This is where I would make an exception. What is that noise out there? Because whatever it is, I can hear it. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, say because we understand where dad understands the struggle of watching a child go through something like that, and I personally would understand what Aubrey went through. However, it's not an excuse to just believe something without being able to demonstrate what it is you're being told. Because all you have is he said, she said. You had the words of someone who also will not verify anything to be true other than shooting off at their mouth. And although Robert and Lindsay, their minds are not there, they just buried their daughter. I will always be accepting and open to the possibility that if I'm sorry, not Aubrey, but if Robert and Lindsay would like to reach out to me, so we can actually have a conversation and it's not being influenced by other people who want to just spew off bullshit. If they are willing and able and ready to have a conversation with me, a one-on-one, I would be open to that. Ask the questions. Because if you ask me, why would they say this if it wasn't true? You should ask them, why would they say it if they can't prove it? Because they're the ones making the claim. They have adopted a burden of proof. But again, like I said, this would have to go on the back burner because they just buried their daughter. They've got a lot of emotions right now. They've got a lot of shit going through their head. I'm not going to pretend that I know because I don't know. However, I would never shut the door on a grieving parent, ever. So, in the off chance that maybe this live stream will get back to them, or this part of the live stream, the clip or whatever, will get back to Robert and Lindsay, just know that I am still willing to have a conversation if you would like to have a conversation, and maybe we could straighten some things out and get to know each other better. I've always been on your side. I've always supported you from a distance, even though you blocked me from the Team Aubrey Hope Facebook page. I still, in some ways, sent my love and support and best wishes to Aubrey, and I'm sorry that she's not with us anymore. It's unfortunate, but I'm still here. If you ever need to talk, if you ever want to talk, or if you decide that one day, you know what, maybe we should give Jared a chance. Maybe we should actually talk to him and get his side instead of just believing what we're told. Because that would make all the difference. But I am sorry, though. My love and condolences are extended to the Hudson family, and all I can hope for is that they find peace and comfort and maybe perhaps healing in the days, weeks, years, months ahead. I don't know what it's like to lose a child because I've never had a child, but my thoughts are with them. My heart goes out to them, and I'm really sincerely, I'm sorry for their loss. It's terrible. So I just wanted to say that and get that out of the way. Aubrey Hudson was 10 years old. She passed away as a result of rhabdomyosarcoma. For those of you who don't know what rhabdomyosarcoma is, I will read an article, and I will give the textbook definition. So rhabdomyosarcoma, RMS, is a rare type of soft tissue cancer that originates in skeletal muscles. It is the most common soft tissue sarcoma in children. And she was only 10. She was only 10 years old. So it's unfortunate. And I'm not, a lot of people would also say, well, Jared's just saying that because now he's in front of a camera and he's just trying to, he's doing damage control, but there is no damage control for what? I sincerely feel horrible for the Hudson family. And again, my door is always open to Robert and Lindsay if they would ever like to talk. And just even if it's an email or if they want to call me on the phone, it's whatever. But I'm also going to, if that ever becomes a possibility, I also want to give them their time to heal and to mourn and to, just to give them their time because it's tough. I can imagine. But I don't personally know what it's like to lose a child. Scruffy, will you stop it? Come here. So this is what we've had to deal with. I'm going to change the subject. This is what we've had to deal with for the past 2 fucking weeks, if not longer. Luna is okay. She started bleeding. She's at the point now where she can reproduce. Scruffy is going fucking nuts. Scruffy is the male, and yeah, Barkley, he's also a male, but he's just too old and too tired, and he's like, I don't give a fuck. And Scruffy over here he just constantly whines and barks because he wants to mate with her. And there have been times when Luna, our female, will snip at him. She will just and she'll bite him. I think the other day she nabbed him a good one and it made him yelp. But I don't know. I mean, we at the moment now we can't afford to get either of the dogs fixed, so we've been doing our best to work through and tolerate the obnoxiousness of Scruffy whining because he's horny. He wants to get a piece. In so many words. So if you hear excessive whining from the dog in the background throughout the duration of this live stream, I apologize in advance because he just doesn't know when to stop, like most men, I guess. And I say most, not all. We have self-control, but I don't speak on behalf of all men, and all men don't speak on behalf of me. I have self-control, but there are some men out there. Oh, okay, most men. They have no self-control. When they want it, they want it. And this is what we hear. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but he'll get in her face and he'll lick her face and he'll lick her back and he'll start licking the naughty spot, and it's like, get the fuck away from her. Scruffy, come on. But in any event, yeah, so that's what we've had to deal with for the past 2 weeks or so. And it's just becoming so obnoxiously fucking annoying listening to him whine because he wants to get laid. He wants to have sex with her. Dogs are just, they're different like that than that of human beings. I don't know of any I don't know of any man who ever whines because he wants to get laid. Thank you, Dad. So Dad starts whining. Not to prove my point, but I mean, because he's just joking, but I don't know of any man who actually whines because he wants to get laid. Like, come on, baby. Come on, baby. Uh, I don't know of any one single man who ever whined to a woman to get a piece. I've certainly never have. It's either we're gonna do it or we're not. What's that? Because they want dick. It's Dad says, "Well, go find it then. I'm tired." Or you'd rather go fishing, wouldn't you? Yes, I would, Dad says. Okay, enough sex talk. This is getting. I don't want things to get out of hand, but this is what we, suffice to say, this is what we've been listening to: a Scruffy constantly whining and barking and trying to climb on her and licking her, and it's like, dude, fucking stop. Just stop. But most of the time, I just let her go because she's already nipped at him a few times, making him yipe and everything else. Oh well. You'll learn to stop or continue to be nicked by Luna. But anyway, moving on. This week, what do we have planned this week? Bills. Got to pay bills. Yeah, got to pay bills this week or next week. There's 31 days in this month, right? January, February, March. Yeah, there's 31 days this month. Yeah, so there's 31 days in this month. The 31st falls on a no. I'm trying to think because today's the 23rd. Today's the 23rd. So 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29, 30, 31. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So it's next Monday or next Tuesday week. Yeah, next Tuesday I think I pay my bills. Because I don't have the calendar memorized in my head enough to really know. Yeah, I could, huh? I actually could look at my phone. Amy brought up a good point here. Let's see. So, calendar. I don't care to know what's new in calendar. Just, let's see. No, that's not what there we go. So I start paying bills next Tuesday. Yep, next Tuesday, maybe perhaps Wednesday. Yep, not this week. Next week. Okay. I forgot I had a calendar on my phone. I should know what's on my phone considering that it's a smartphone. And speaking of which, when I pay my bill every month, they're always telling me what I qualify for. Well, because you pay your bill on time every month, you qualify for an upgrade with your Apple iPhone. But the catch is that you have to put down $200 to $300. Now, why would I do that? If I qualify for an upgrade for an Apple iPhone, but they still want me to pay $200 to $300, well, it's better than paying $1,500. At least if you put down 200 or 300. No, I will continue to use this phone until I can't use it anymore, and then if push comes to shove where I have to switch up phones, I might just go back to using an Android. If I have to, I will. Now I found my old Android and I've been keeping it charged because I still use the Android as a matter of fact. I got a spot on my lens of my glasses here. I still use my Android phone. Although it's not activated, it's no longer in service, but I can still use it. But I'm mainly on the Apple iPhone, and I got Facebook on there and my YouTube stuff, and yeah. So there's always something going on. Always something going on with the phones. I mainly use the iPhone because the iPhone is activated. The Android doesn't, but I can still use some of the features on the Android, which is pretty cool. It's bizarre. So yeah, next week I think will be a busy week. Tonight I'm going to be preparing supper. I'll probably get started on that after. Well, evidently it's going to be after this. After I finish up, I'm not gonna. I can't cook supper and then do this at the same time. But I will be starting supper after I finish this. We're having creamy chicken and biscuits for supper. What's that? Yeah, tonight at 7:00, is a Fox Sunday Flashback with Dan Richards. The link is in the description, or in the chat rather, not the description of the video. It's in the chat log, although putting it in the description of the video might not be such a bad idea because I don't know who sees the chat replay. I'm pretty sure I select a chat replay. But there's no one in chat now. No one's watching. But that's fine. I'll still sit here for the hour and talk and discuss a few things. But yeah, tonight at 7:00 is the Fox Sunday Flashback with Dan Richards. There's a link in the chat where you can go and it'll take you right to the Lightning player. And you won't even have to go to the website to click and listen live, it'll just take you straight to the music. So, that dog, Scruffy, just, man, he's obnoxious when he'll do anything to get that. Stupid dog. But yeah, listen tonight at 7 o'clock, the Fox Sunday Flashback. Dan takes requests for classic rock, classic country, and southern rock, all at your request. You can call or email. We don't recommend, cups attached to strings because those don't work very well. So the alternative, of course, would be to call in or to email or message the official Fox Sunday Flashback Facebook page. And if he doesn't have it, he'll either get a hold of me and say, "Hey, Jared, can you send me the copy of this?" Yeah, sure. Or he'll pull something up on YouTube, and he'll play it from YouTube. But yeah, so as far as going to the Pine Run Inn tomorrow night, I don't know. Amy, I think, has an appointment tomorrow. No? Oh, on the 7th. Okay. 7th of April? Oh, okay. Day after your birthday. Huh. So I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. I don't have the extra funds at the moment. So I might miss tomorrow, but there's always next week. I can always go back next week if I have them. Well, then again, I don't think I can even go next week because I don't get paid until the next day, so I won't have the money. Tough luck. Unless, Dad works something out. Unless, because you always work your magic, Dad. You find ways of making things work. But there's no guarantee. I'm not saying I don't expect you to, but you usually find a way if you can. And if not, not a problem. But yeah, so on my other channel, I've been doing a lot of live streams, and they're just random live streams, and I actually talk and interact with people, unlike here, because no one really comes into my chat anymore. Chewing off my toenail comes into the chat prior to going live because I read the comments prior to going live, and I know if you watch prior to live stream, you also see the comments that I read, but I don't get any interactions in chat, and the chat's open, but I also have people who on my other channel when I do live streams, they come in to troll and they come in to say some of the most obnoxious shit you could ever think. Because on the other channel that I have, I keep religion and politics off. I don't like to talk politics and religion on the other channel. It's meant to be wholesome and family friendly and oriented, for all audiences. And sometimes I have people coming into my chat saying the most dumbest shit, saying, "Oh, so you got the flag behind you, you're a Republican." And they even suggest that I desecrate my own flag, which is a bunch of shit because I hang my flag with pride. And although I may be embarrassed by the actions of my country a lot of the time, I'm still proud to be an American. We have freedoms that other countries don't have. And in other countries, you can die for your beliefs or lack thereof. Not here in America, unless you get some lunatic with a gun or a weapon wanting to cause great detriment to your life, then that's a different story. But initially, you can't, you don't die for your beliefs or lack thereof. But over on my other channel, I get subscribers from Croatia coming into my chat. I get subscribers from England and Japan and Turkey. I mean, these people are coming from all parts of the world talking to me, which I think is great. Although I can't always understand their native language, and I have to point out, hey, this is English only in chat, if you would please. And they continue speaking in their native language, and it's like, I'm sorry, I can't understand you. I think I wish YouTube could, I don't know if this service is actually available, but I wish there was a way that YouTube could translate into English what the people are saying. So that way I can respond accordingly. Like someone got pissed off in the chat day before yesterday because they asked me what's your occupation, and I told them that what I do for a living is not relevant to the conversations, or it's not relevant to the chat. And then they got bent out of shape. Oh, you don't care about us and you don't care. You know what? Just shut the fuck up and go away. I don't have time for petty ass, bitch ass whining. Just go away, disappear off into oblivion, and don't find your way back to my channel. Now, I can't say the word fuck, and I can't say any kind of cussing on the other channel because it's family friendly and it's meant to be family friendly and safe for kids and all that stuff. But here, this is uncensored, Jer Bear. And here I'll say whatever the fuck I want. And if someone comes into my chat, they're going to get told to fuck right off. And I will have no problem doing it. I don't have chat mods. I got Amy as a chat mod, but my chat never gets busy. So there's really no reason for Amy to come in and moderate the chat because no one ever comes in. So yeah, and I used to have Melinda come in. I used to have my buddy Joe come in. I don't know. I guess they just lost interest because I talk about things that don't interest them, or they're busy doing other things, which is fine. That's fine. People still watch the replay of my live stream, and that's fine. They don't interact in the moment. My buddy Robbie used to come into the chat, but he doesn't come in chat anymore. So I don't know. Maybe they're just so busy. I know Robbie's busy because he's gotten back into acting. My buddy Robbie Cole is an actor, and I think he's been doing a lot of theater, doing a lot of stage plays. And I am proud of Robbie. I'm so proud of him. He's like one of the coolest cats ever, and he doesn't buy into the bullshit that people say. Most people don't. Genuinely, most people don't. Um, they have the wits and the knowledge and the wisdom to say, no, you fucking don't. You can say anything you want about Jared, but I don't believe you. Demonstrate to me where and when he did this, what you're alleging he did. Of course, they never can. Raul Martinez is a troll. His real name is not Raul. He came into my chat, this Raul person, which they're disguising themselves as one of my haters from Facebook. They came up with this sock account, Raul Martinez, and they came into the chat on my other channel, bad mouthing me, saying, "Oh, parents, keep your kids away from him," blah blah. My chat mods burned his fucking ass on the spot. They banned him. They jumped on him like a fucking pack of wild wolves, and I applauded them for that. Take the trash out. Remove the toxicity from my chat. I don't need it. I don't want it. And stay the fuck away. And I found out that Justina Banks still watches my channel. The coward who refuses to show their true identity. They still watch my live streams. Hey, bitch, fuck you. Thank you for watching and sharing my shit, though. I appreciate you. It just helps. It helps my channel grow. So, but in any event, that's fine. I don't care who watches anymore. Even if it takes a coward thinking they're brave enough and they're ballsy enough to come in under a fake name and continue to spread the most hateful shit ever about me and accusing me of doing things. I actually take comfort in the fact that every little move I make revolves around someone like a Justina Banks because they have no fucking life of their own. They sit in their basement or wherever the fuck they're hiding out under the fucking rock they're living under, and they watch and listen. They have no life. They are low life scum losers who have nothing better to do. And it's not just this Justina Banks, it's the Raul Martinez and all these other these fake ass motherfuckers who want to say some shit about me. These people are fake. They have no life. And just because I haven't spoken about them in recent months, that's because I've moved on. But I revisit for this week just to put out the message that I still think you're all a bunch of fucking faceless, low-life cowards who have nothing better to do. All the energy you put into trying to make me look bad, you could be using that energy to make the world a better place. You don't want to do that because you're all about Jer Bear. Well, thank you so much for letting me live rent-free in your head. And furthermore, you haven't done anything. You think lying to people to get them to turn against me, you think that's a victory? You're a fucking liar. And you have not made your case. You have not demonstrated your case. It's just a bunch of talk. That's why I don't concern myself with it. But it is funny, though, which is why I mention it. But moving on, this hour is going by quick. I got 25 minutes left in the show, and we're watching Classic Barker on Buzzer. On The Price is Right. I remember watching Bob Barker. That was his last chance? Oh, fuck. Yeah, he had dark hair there. I remember Bob Barker on The Price is Right. Back in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, I used to watch Bob Barker on Price is Right all the time. Those would be the days when Mom would keep me home from school because of, doctor's appointments or cancer checkups or whatever. But I remember a lot of, or sometimes I'd even have days off. I wouldn't go a full day. And I remember Mom keeping me home from school, and we would watch Price is Right in the mornings because Dad would be at work. He would be working at Weigold's or Muffler Man or wherever at the time. And it would be Price is Right, and then the news, and then Mom would watch her soaps. My mom loved soap operas. She was into One Life to Live and All My Children and General Hospital. She was into the ABC soaps. My Aunt Rhonda was into, I think, the NBC soaps, As the World Turns. Days of Our Lives, I think, is NBC. Yeah. Dad's like, yeah, I was outside when they were watching that shit. But we don't have All My Children and One Life to Live anymore. What's that? Well, they did away with a lot of the soap operas because they don't have One Life to Live and All My Children on ABC anymore. I don't even think Susan Lucci is acting at the moment. I don't think she is because I never hear her name anymore. Yeah, we lost George Foreman at the age of 76, and we lost the lead singer to a group called the Youngbloods. They had a song called Get Together. Colin Jesse Young passed away. He was 83, I think. But yeah, George Foreman, wow. Andy Peebles died. He was a BBC radio DJ. And we also lost Bob Rivers. So for those of you who don't know, Bob Rivers did parody songs. He was a DJ, but he did parody songs, Christmas songs. Um, like the song, the song Feliz Navidad. He had a parody song to that called Police Stop My Car. um, he had a parody to the Beach Boys, Good Vibrations, called it Decorations. The 12 Pains of Christmas. He had a lot of parody songs for Christmas, and I have, excuse me, I have a lot of his parody songs on my Christmas music collection on my flash drive. But Bob Rivers was, I think, 68. He was just a young guy. I think he had a brief illness. But yeah, there's been a lot of notable deaths recently. People are just getting sick, or they're just up there in age, and it's a part of life. I mean, what do you do? So as for today, I'm not sure what's in store for the rest of the day, other than I'm going to be preparing dinner here. We got 20 minutes left in the show. I'm trying to find ways to be more entertaining with this channel, because the channel really died out. I mean, I have just under 600 subscribers, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you being subscribed to my channel, but it's mostly quiet now. I don't really get a lot of activity because I'm not really uploading videos to this channel as I should be. And the only time I ever utilize this channel, or make use of this channel, is when I'm doing things like this, the weekly Sunday video update live streams that I do. But I'm going to try to bring this channel to life more, and try to make it where people can come in and interact regularly as they do on my other channel. But over here on this side, on this channel, you'll get the uncensored version of me. So I would advise you, just don't get on my bad side. But I give what I'm given, and I treat people accordingly. And that's a point I make on Facebook. I treat people accordingly. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. If you're respectful to me, I'll be respectful to you. But the very minute you give me shit, I will give it right back, and I'll be better at it. So if you want good, treat me good. If you don't want nice, then I won't be nice. And that's just the way it is. I'm nice to everybody until I'm given a reason not to be. I don't know why that's such a hard thing to understand, but people seem to forget that. I'm good to everybody until I'm given a reason not to be. So, Dad, what do you want to talk about? Because I'm just babbling. I don't know what else to talk about, man. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say, and I still have about under 15 minutes now. I don't know what to talk about. Yeah. Dad put on a new belt tensioner. I was going down the road last week. It was last Monday. I was coming home from Pine Run, and there was a loud rattling noise coming from under my hood, and I'm thinking, oh, time for an oil change, which I actually still need an oil change, but that wasn't the culprit. The problem was that the belt tensioner was loose, and the bearings were shot inside of it, and the car kept stalling, of course, and it's like, fuck, it would have to happen now. So I had a new belt tensioner put on, and but I had to drive. I mean, it still had driven good. It's just, it was noisy as all hell, and it made me nervous just driving it, because I didn't want the belt to snap, because if that tensioner would have seized, it would have been game over. So Dad put a new one on for me and runs good, doesn't make any more noise, but I still do need an oil change, which I'll most likely, most definitely, actually, I should say, take care of. Um, I'll have to find somewhere where it's not so expensive, because oil changes can be expensive, especially if you're using synthetic oil, which I don't use synthetic oil on my car. Um, I use just, I think, a 20 weight or a 30 weight oil, I think. I think it was 10W30, wasn't it? That I put in it?
Yeah, but they do that in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, they switch it.
But yeah, so that happened. Something else that happened last week. I went up. It was nice last week. I went up to Cole Park in Chesaning, and I was just sitting there with my journal, minding my business, and a group of kids came up and they were tossing a ball back and forth. Not a problem, just watch the vehicles. You don't, hit any of the vehicles. Well, it was windy and the ball rolled away and it rolled underneath of the picnic table where I was sitting. And one of the boys came up, got their ball, and I said, "Uh-oh, air ball, eh?" And he just looked at me and smiled and ran back to his buddies. And then a lady had sat down at my table. She says, "Do you mind if I join you?" No, please grab a seat. So she sat down and we talked. She was from St. Charles, and when they had that power outage, she went to celebrate her husband's grandmother's 90th birthday out in Grand Rapids. And one of the kids that was, with the other group of boys, actually two of the boys were her sons. So, yeah, it was a pleasant, little conversation with a stranger. Um, but at times I will go to Cole Park, especially on nice warm days. I'll take my journal with me. I might grab a snack. I'll sit under the pavilion, listen to the water, listen to the Shiawassee River, and I'll just sit there and write my journal and just kind of mind my business and not bug anybody else. But if they approach me or if they say hello, then of course I'll say hi back. Oh, my ear itches. Well, she wasn't from Chesaning. She was from St. Charles. What's that?
People from staying around there are decent.
Yeah.
You get people that live.
You get people from out of town and they're decent, but the people in town are just straight up assholes. That's why I don't talk to a lot of in town folk unless I actually know who they are. Yeah, even our own relatives, which I don't give a fuck. I finally got to meet my cousin Tim's baby. Her name is Paisley, and she is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Today is my cousin Matt's birthday too. He turns 37. 37. Timmy, he turned 38 on Friday. And today Matt, his brother, turns 37 today. Because Timmy was born in 87 and Matt was born in 88. So happy birthday, Matt. I know you probably don't watch these videos, but what the hell? Happy birthday anyway to you, cuz. Love you. Hope you're doing well. Hope the kids are doing well. And because I saw Timmy at my cousin Tim at Frank's Supermarket, and he was standing in checkout with the baby and her baby's mom. And I noticed Timmy, and I walked in, and I noticed he was holding Paisley. She was sitting up, sitting upright. She was leaned back against his chest, and I said, "Hey, cuz, what's up?" And he says, "Oh, hey, Jared, how you doing?" And I said, "So this is Paisley?" And he says, "Yep, this is my Paisley." And I said, "Aren't you beautiful?" And she looked up at me and she would follow every move I made with her eyes. And I said, "You're beautiful." And Timmy kind of, cousin Jared talking to you. And she is a sweetheart, man. She's beautiful. but you know, she's a Fuller, so that's you know, beauty is mandatory for the Fuller bunch. She's a Fuller, of course she's beautiful. um, yeah, we get the job done. um, but yeah, it was nice to finally get to meet baby Paisley, my little baby cousin. Oh, Miss Clara. Yeah, my cousin Marcy.
Miss Clara.
I call her Miss Clara because you know she's
She acted part of their uncle.
she says, "Are you my great 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 uncle?" And Dad says, "No, I'm actually your great uncle. I'm your grandma's brother." Hi, Aunt Cheryl. But he says, "Yeah, I'm your great uncle because your grandma Cheryl's my sister."
She goes, oh.
She goes, "Oh, yeah, we're related for sure. We just don't have the same last name because
And I'm proud of her too.
yeah, Miss Clara is
Want to play basketball?
she is
At basketball?
yeah, she's doing remarkable. She loves sports. Um
And she does, and she's got trophies or she's got
yeah,
certificates. Man, way to go.
go Miss Clara.
I asked Miss Clara, you want to play basketball?
Yeah.
No.
No, she don't want to play basketball.
Oh. I said, no, I don't want to play with you anyways because you'll probably beat me. She smiled.
She probably kicked my ass with a feather. Miss Clara is a sweetie pie though. Um Sometimes I'll talk to her and say, "Well, hello, Miss Clara," and she'll kind of smile. She'll kind of hide her face away. And Marcy's like, "You can say hi to Jared. He's your cousin. You can say hi to him." But I'll tell her, I say, "You remember that guy, that guy that you talked to? You asked if he was your great 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 uncle. Yeah. Well, he's my dad. Your Uncle Wayne is my dad. You know." I think she is more interested at the fact that she's related to people without actually realizing it. And when you explain it to her how the family tree works and who's
I said, great grandma. I knew her great great grandma. And I said, no.
no, she might have been
Which one it was?
she may have been her great grandmother,
Great great grandmother.
her great great grandmother. So that might have been either Janita's mom or Lloyd's mom.
I think it was her dad's.
Oh, on her dad's side.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know anybody on her dad's side.
I think
Um,
it was the guy's dad.
because I don't even know Lloyd and Janita's parents.
His grandma.
Yeah,
From her great great grandma.
yeah. Like Grandma Perkins,
Yeah.
she was Marcy's great great grandmother, so she would have been Miss Clara's great great grandmother. Um, yeah, yep. We're a big family. There's still quite a few of us out there. Like, you know, although mom's gone now, I look back on it and it's like, yeah, my mom was the last of 17. And a lot of people, you know, like cousins on mom's side, well, one person in particular, I don't want to give a name and I'm not here to badmouth her in any way, but she says, you know, I've been doing the genealogy on our family and it doesn't show anywhere where your grandma Beulah had 17 kids. She was pregnant 17 times. Pregnancy doesn't necessarily mean birth, but she was pregnant 17 times. I have heard my whole life. Yeah, grandma had miscarriages, but I had also heard that grandma she was pregnant with twins and triplets. See, I didn't know Grandma Beulah ever had, you know, I didn't know that she was ever pregnant with twins and triplets until mom told me, Uncle Rick told me, I think Aunt Anna told me once, Muff told me, Aunt Kathy, she told me a lot about Grandma Beulah. Um, although with Aunt Kathy, you know, she was intoxicated pretty much every day. She was always inebriated, so I had to take everything she told me with a grain of salt. But after hearing mom say it and Uncle Rick say it, the stories aligned with what Aunt Kathy was saying. So Aunt Kathy would probably know. She would have known. Uncle Willie didn't really say much about Grandma. But Uncle Willie also didn't give a fuck. And that's what my ear itches. That's what I loved about him. He didn't give a fuck. Uncle Willie feared no one. My mom's brother feared no one. He wasn't afraid of anything at all. He was I'm sure if he was alive, he would agree with me when I say this, but he was a crazy son of a bitch. He took a whole engine block out of a car one day. And when he pulled it up, he cracked himself in the nose. And his nose was broken. And what did Uncle Willie do? He put it back in place, went back to work. It's like, what in the fuck? It's like, what the fuck? Huh? Oh, yeah, my grandpa Herb, he had a bad tooth. And he says, fuck going to the dentist. He took a pair of needle nose pliers and just like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? He says, hey, the pain went away. Yeah, but that's not good. I mean, that infection can travel in your bloodstream. He didn't care. But my Uncle Willie, he was struck by lightning once, and he was just laughing hysterically and out of control. Uncle Rick drilled him one, and he says, what the fuck did you hit me for? And Uncle Rick says, you were struck by lightning, dude. And it's like he was a crazy guy, but I loved him. You know, when I was in the hospital, he always came to see me, and the nurses would, we're sorry, but visiting hours are over. And Uncle Willie said, well, no, your visiting hours are over, but mine are just beginning. Don't make us call hospital security. And Uncle Willie says, you can call the fucking CIA for all I care. Call the National Guard, call the Supreme Court, call whoever you think you got to call in the military. He says, I'm here to see my nephew, and I'm not going to wake him. So what's it going to be? But he got his way. Uncle Willie would always come in and say, hey, nephew, it's your Uncle Will. Just coming to see my buddy. And he was there all the time, Mom said. I mean, there'd be times, you know, Mom said that when you would come to the hospital to see me, you know, like Uncle Willie would be there, or whoever, you know, Dorothy would be there. And, or there'd be times when you'd be so tired you couldn't make it up to my room. You'd fall asleep in the garage, the parking garage at the hospital. Yeah, you were going back and forth from work to home to Lansing, and it was clockwork for you. You know, it's just like me when Mom was in hospice care. I was going back and forth from here to Mount Pleasant every day for 2 weeks straight. And yeah, it got expensive, but I did it for Mom. And yeah, I got burned out from doing it, but I did it for Mom. And you know, now she's at peace, and you know, I can get on with my life, and that's what she would want me to do. Now I'm just all over the place in conversation because I really don't know what else to fucking talk about. We're down to the final minute of the Sunday video update. I appreciate all one of you coming in to listen to me talk. Thanks again for to chewing off my toenail for the humor this week. Dad, anything you would like to say before we go? Peace out, be safe from Amy. And I will echo what they say. Take care of one another. Peace out, be safe. Try to make the world a better place. The world is on fire right now with everything going on. And don't take shit from anybody, right? The world is on fire right now with everything going on. But the least you can do, or maybe perhaps the best thing you could do to alleviate the problems and the troubles of the world, is to get out and make the world better on your own. Do something nice for someone else. Pay for someone's meal. Open a door for them. Do whatever you think you can do to help make the world a better place and to produce a ripple effect of kindness that will spread among other people and inspire other people to do the right thing. That's what this world needs now more than ever, because it's a shit show out there. We got to do better. So I'm going to leave it on that note. I love you guys. I will see you next week. The first Sunday video update for the month of April will be next Sunday. I love y'all. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.